Guys, the NFL draft is right around the corner, and we're going to continue to put out videos every day on this channel, youtube.com/NYGiantsTV. We're trying to get to 27,000 subs here, but we're 5 people short. Who is going to be the 27,000th subscriber? Rumor has it we're going to get you guys a pretty big surprise and a reward. If you are that guy, so hit that sub button right now. You are watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Hit me up over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. That's another way we could chop it up about the latest news and rumors. We're going to talk about Jadeveon Clowney because there's some publications out there that think the Giants could be a landing spot for the veteran edge rusher. We'll talk about that. But really the biggest story in the NFL, which I think pertains to the New York Football Giants, circles around Odell Beckham Jr. OBJ is expected to fly out to New Jersey over the weekend and meet with the New York Jets on Monday morning. As we know, the Giants reportedly have been interested in Odell Beckham Jr. They have not brought him in for an official, I guess you could call it a free agency visit. But now the team that shares the same building with you is bringing Odell Beckham Jr. And this is what Ian Rappaport had to say about it. He said the Jets' long-awaited meeting with wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. will be multifaceted. It will include not only a physical, but also a thorough discussion of what to expect in an Aaron Rodgers-led offense with a deep wide receiver room. How will it all fit together is a big point of discussion. And my first thought when I saw OBJ to the Jets, and I thought this could be a possibility for quite some time. Rodgers has a love affair with OBJ. OBJ loves himself some discount double check, so I could see this making some sense. But the first thing I thought of was, I'm sure that the Giants owner, John Mara, is thrilled about Odell Beckham Jr. returning to New York, playing for a team that plays at MetLife Stadium, but it being the team that wears green and not blue. Rewind the clock a couple of weeks ago. John Mara was asked, do you want OBJ back on the team? And he said, I'm open to it. I'd like to bring him back, but it's up to Brian Dable and Joe Shane to get it done. Obviously, he wants OBJ back on the team because he knows OBJ puts butts in seats, and the more Odell Beckham jerseys you have, the more money that John Mara is going to make. I'm sure he's thrilled, though, that he's going to be catching touchdown passes potentially for the Jets and not the Giants in New York. It all comes down to the cheddar, though, and obviously the Giants don't have the money that Odell Beckham Jr. wants, and that's why I think this is so fascinating because the Jets are already pretty deep at that wide receiver position. They made moves in the offseason. They drafted one in the first round last year. Still have some guys that didn't play. They moved some as well. But it's definitely going to be a crowded wide receiver room. And I'm interested to see how much money Odell Beckham Jr. is actually going to sign for. There was reports he wanted $20 million. Those are not true. Reports he wanted $15 million. Is a team going to give Odell Beckham Jr. $15 million? I don't think he will. I think he'll sign a one-year deal for about $6 or $7 million with some incentives that can get it to whatever number he feels comfortable with, going around on Twitter pretty much so he can appease his fans and not look like a guy that's, on his way out, even though he might just be after suffering 2 major knee injuries. I want to ask this question, though, because I always think the rivalry or the lack of rivalry between the Giants and the Jets is always so interesting. So I want to ask you guys this question. Do you care about Odell Beckham Jr. playing for the Jets? Are you going to be mad? Are you sad? Do you care? Do you not care? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. Next on today's show, we'll touch on Jadeveon Clowney because Clutch Points has listed Clowney as a potential Giants free agent target. They talked about the Giants' need for an edge rusher, which we have multiple times on this channel. We'll break that down coming up here in a second. But first, I want to give you guys a huge shout out and let you guys know that today's show is sponsored by Fume. Go to tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports for 10% off. That link is in the comments and description of today's show. Are you tired of struggling with bad habits? Cold turkey might be great for sandwiches, but there's a better way to break free of those pesky habits. And it doesn't involve weird mind voodoo or other bizarre tactics. Introducing our sponsor, Fume, an innovative award-nominated device that helps you kick bad habits to the curb by focusing on the good parts. You can now scan the QR code on screen to learn more about Fume. Fume is all about embracing the natural. It's not electronic, and instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Best of all, it's free of harmful chemicals and packed with delicious all-natural flavors. The adjustable airflow dial and movable parts and magnets make it perfect for fidgeting, which can help alleviate stress and anxiety while you break your habit. I wasn't sure what to expect at first, but I was pleasantly surprised by the taste, feel, and look of Fume. Breaking a habit can be tough, but with Fume, it's easy, enjoyable, and even fun. With over 100,000 customers and countless success stories, there's no reason you can't be next. The Journey Pack comes with 3 unique flavors. That includes white cranberry, maple pepper, and crisp mint. And when you go to tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports, you get 10% off the Journey Pack today. Start your journey towards a healthier lifestyle with the Journey Pack from Fume. Visit tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports for 10% off when you purchase the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com/chatsports, or you can scan the QR code to unlock the offer on today's show. That is 10% off the Journey Pack when you get started today. One more time, tryfum.com/chatsports and use code chatsports for 10% off the Journey Pack today. Back to close out the show, we'll wrap it up talking about Jadeveon Clowney, the former #1 overall pick by the Houston Texans. And you might say, why would the Giants want to go spend money on another edge rusher? Well, 1, I don't think Clowney is going to command that much money. 2, the Giants need another edge rusher. Yes, you have Azeez Ojulari. Yes, you have Kayvon Thibodeaux. But after that, it's really just a collection of names that haven't really produced in the National Football League. Ryder Anderson, look, he was a UDFA. Ellerson Smith, this is going to be his 3rd year in the NFL. He was a 4th-round pick out of a small school, and it hasn't worked out. Tommen Fox is a UDFA as well. Played good in spots at that edge rusher spot, but you need someone else that can create pressure. I love Thibodeaux. I love Ojulari, but go back to the great teams of the New York Giants. They had a consistent rotation, I guess you could say, at that edge rusher spot with Osi and Michael and Justin Tuck and Matthias Kiwanuka and JPP. The Giants, they need more help on this edge rusher department. And although Jadeveon Clowney is not the best sack guy in the world, I do think he could bring some talent to this room and kind of fit well and gel well in a Wink Martindale system. Played just 12 games last year for the Cleveland Browns. Only 2 sacks, but he had 28 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 3 pass breakups. There were some murmurs that he wasn't a great teammate in Cleveland, thought the world was against him. So there's always some, I guess you would say, some drama that surrounds Clowney. But if you can get the guy that produced in 2021 with 9 sacks and 14 games played and 11 tackles for loss, that would absolutely be a good pickup for the Giants. And they could use a veteran on the edge, not only because they need just another guy that could produce at that edge rusher spot. I think having a vet that Kayvon Thibodeaux could look up to, and a guy like Azeez Ojulari could look up to and learn some tips of the trade from, I think could help them out. They just need more talent in that room. Maybe they don't want to go after Jadeveon Clowney. There's some other veterans they could go after. Justin Houston is the guy we've talked about. We've also talked about Ashawn Robinson, who's really more of a D tackle than an edge rusher. But Frank Clark as well, Yannick Ngakoue, those guys might be out of the Giants, spending habits. So maybe you could look towards the NFL draft. A lot of people are thinking they have to go wide receiver at pick 25. They have to go corner at pick 25, which really makes a lot of sense. But there's obviously more picks in the NFL draft than just the first round. But I would not be surprised if the Giants did select an edge rusher at pick 25. If they elect to go with a wide receiver or a corner at pick 25, then you got pick 57 in your back pocket, or pick 89, or pick 128. Then at round 5, you got pick 160. I think anywhere from round 3 to round 6 is where the Giants could select an edge rusher. But let's say one of these top 8 guys somehow fall to pick 25, which it won't be Will Anderson and it won't be Tyree Wilson. Probably not Lucas Van Ness, but maybe a Nolan Smith, maybe a Miles Murphy, maybe a Will McDonald, maybe a Felix Anudike Uzoma, or a B.J. Ojulari, the brother of Azeez Ojulari. The Giants have a history of selecting edge rushers and being deep at that position. The key to being successful in the NFL is finding ways to generate a pass rush. And if Miles Murphy or Will McDonald or Ojulari or one of these guys are there at 25, do not be shocked if Joe Shane pulls the trigger on one of those guys. I want to ask you this question, then we're going to bounce out of here and enjoy the rest of our Easter, like I hope you guys are. How do you think the Giants should add to their edge rusher room right now? How should they improve that depth chart? Should they do it in the draft? Should they sign a veteran, maybe like Clowney or Houston or Clark or many of the guys we've talked about on the channel? Type D for draft, type F for free agency. Let me know what you think the Giants should do to improve the edge rusher department. Also, just want to say thank you, and I appreciate everybody that has tuned in to the video today. We're going to continue to put out Giants videos all year long, every day of the week. So hit that sub button. Help us get to 27,000 subs. Made this far in the video and you're not subbed, don't be a fraud. Hit the big red button. We're doing it for Brandon Jacobs.